Hey guys, so welcome to Tarot and Tea Time with Jen. Got my new shirt today, Good Vibes. Got my Light Seers Tarot, my favorite tarot deck. Um, I'm going to do a special healing a healing spread for the collective, for the world, for the earth, for the planet, for people who are waking up, for people who are still sleeping, people who are conscious, who are unconscious, people who are struggling, people who are thriving, surviving, all of these amazing aspects of our life. And this is going to be for everyone. So the way the spread goes, it's actually from Chris Ann, and I'm taking one of her courses, which is wonderful. And the first card will be a message for personal healing. The second one is going to be blind spots in reverse, so things you need to look at, deconstruct. The third card I'm going to pull is a message for global healing, for how to heal the planet. And then the fourth one, so it's a really beautiful spread. And the fourth one is going to be guidance for action for all of us to take what we're being guided from the universe to do. And I've got my magical Harry Potter mug here and my magical tea. Just kidding, it's just regular tea. Got my dog in the background there and had a nap today, so we are extra good to go. So here is the first card, a message for personal healing, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, Four of Pentacles. And before I double check the meanings of these cards, what I got from this card right away is like saving, and not just abundance, but like in your knowing of abundance. So being in the flow, the universe has your back, helping others, success. And I just keep hearing like I hear jingle, jangle, jingle, like there's some money. You need to heal. There's some things that need to be healed around money, right? So a lot of us have a very outdated money story or a money program that we got when we were, younger, from TV, from, family, friends, school, all of these things. We have these stories that we're not good at money. We're not good with money. And that's something that really needs to be healed right now. That's a really big thing. Another thing is what's happening right now on a global scale is that we really need to be more flowy. We need to get into the flow. So it's like if you go into this stream, there's a beautiful stream, and there's all these rocks uphill, and if you just stood the bottom, the beautiful water would wash your feet and would clear away all the dirt and the debris on your feet. But you're like, nope, I'm gonna go up and climb these really jagged rocks, right? So instead of doing the way you used to do, which would be going the hard way, going up those jagged rocks, what's being asked of you right now to heal on a global level is to just allow the water to come and wash over you, clean all of these things that don't serve you anymore. And you hear that literally umpteen times from various healers and mentors who are coming on your screens to give you messages of love and support. And this is a really big one. So a message for personal healing. You got to heal that forcing. You got to heal that forcing mentality, that pushing mentality, that hustle. You know how there's like this movement of like women got to hustle, and you got to work 14 hours a day, and you got to reach out, and you got to bug people to work with you. And that's what needs to be healed. Okay, that's really important. So that is the personal healing message for all of you. I'm sure that resonates with you because it does for me. So this upside down in reverse is Eight of Wands. Okay, so in reverse, it's asking you to look at your blind spots. What are your biases? What's your shadow? What's your shadow that you need to deconstruct? And there's an energy of, if you watched the card reading yesterday where Caterpillar George showed up, thank from spirit, it was like you got this momentum going. We got this drum sounding in the back. We got Jumanji calling, it's like dun, 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 and it gets louder, louder, louder. That's how you know you're ready to go. You're ready to have this big adventure. But some of our blind spots are like we're unfocused right now. And again, I want to repeat, please don't use this hype. There's a hype around Mercury Retrograde. There's a hype around, oh my gosh, it's summer solstice. Oh my gosh, it's, the Mayan calendar says it's the end of the world. And You know, we get caught up in that hype, that energy. It's easy to get caught up on it because you see it all day long, right? So that's just a blind spot for us. It's a, you know, lack of direction where we're pausing, we're in the pause and we're like, right before that black stallion, right before that card that I drew yesterday where you're like, you're ready to go. You're hesitating, right? So it's just something to look at, like, where am I hesitating? Where am I being extra cautious? Which is not always a bad thing to be cautious, but sometimes you can get caught up in the wave of too cautious, where you actually stop yourself from doing the thing that you know you want to do and that you just had the momentum to do it. Okay, so delays and, you know, but I feel like they're, again, soul sabotage delays. I feel like you're doing it, and we're all doing it. I'm doing it as well, right? I'm not perfect either. I'm just doing everything too. But the good news is that we're conscious of it, right? As long as you're conscious of it, this is going to be very helpful. So the message that came through for global healing, what needs to be healed, global healing. This is what we need to do to heal the planet. This is what we need to do to heal our families and ourselves and our ancestors and our past loved ones in spirit. This is what we need to do. So we need to find peace within. We need to find forgiveness. We need to, yes, look at the past and revisit the past sometimes, but not in a negative way. How can you look at what happened for you and use that for healing, right? So on the podcast episode I did with Courtney Burns that just came out today, an extra elevated episode on podcast Elevate Her Soul, so go listen to that. It's on SoundCloud. We talked about this, right? So you have to look at the past, but don't stay there, right? Reminiscing, reconnecting with the past. And the Mercury Retrograde, there's going to be, usually in Mercury Retrograde, it's known to be like a sort of what's supposed to be a restructuring and reminiscing. So reminiscing, there's the and reminiscing, but usually someone from the past is going to show up. So I feel like for some of you are going to have someone from the past, and it's a male, show up in your life that you thought was over, and it is not a sign for you to go back to this person or to allow this person back in your life. Okay, it's another one of those are you sure's. Are you sure? Right? Are you sure? The universe is making sure that you're sure. Okay, so just because someone comes back into your life does not mean you need to let them in there, because you worked so hard on your peace. You worked so hard. Yes, you think about it a lot, but now you're here, right? You've grown. You've worked on your inner child. You've worked on your, on your playfulness, and now you're at peace. And this is coming in just to be like, are you sure? One final sure. And it doesn't mean that you need to, let this person back in your life. Yes, there is forgiveness that needs to happen for healing, okay? But forgiveness does not mean, and you've heard again this a million times, forgiveness does not mean condoning the behavior, but also forgiving yourself too if you've done some things in the past. This is like a review, a revisit, right? But it's not to beat yourself up. That is how you're going to heal yourself and the planet, by doing these things. Okay, when you heal yourself, when you're like, okay, I need to work on myself, and I've got these things, these beliefs that don't serve me, and I know it, and I don't want to do the same things because they're not working out for me, so I want to try something different, right? These are all things that are going to get you forward. These are all things that are going to get you into alignment with who you really are, okay? So the guidance for action. This is the action that needs to be taken in order to heal ourselves and then the planet. Because when you heal yourself, you heal other people. It's like a ripple effect. If you have one rock, if you go to the lake and you bring your kids and you are by yourself and you throw a stone in there, what happens? So it goes boink, and then it makes this beautiful ripple effect, and you don't know when it stops. Like on the surface, it might be like a couple seconds where it stops, but underneath the surface, it's still like going across the whole lake. And then someone on the other lake who's fishing might be like feeling a little bit, right? It's like, it's a very subtle yet very powerful energy when you start to put a rock in the lake. Okay, so here's the action that's going to help heal us, and then the planet, and then other people. Okay, so 3 of Cups, it's a beautiful card. Three of Cups. Look at this. This is so beautiful. I hear soul sister, oh, sister. Like, it's just a beautiful. And I didn't need to look at the meaning for this card. Um, it's the Trinity. The Trinity. There's three, right? So Three of Cups, emotional, sisterhood, and banding together. So here's the really cool thing about this and how to take action on healing this. Um, so you might have seen that I won an award for being the best psychic, a platinum award, and then one for being one of the favorite local authors in my town, which was huge. But yes, I was celebrating that because that's an amazing accomplishment for me personally. But the people who won, the diamond or whatever you want to call it, and people who are nominated and the people, we all celebrated. We celebrated each other, right? Because that's what you do. There's no more need to be jealous of someone else. Well, they got first place and I only got second. That does not fly. It's never flown. It's never been okay. But sometimes we have to go through that. We have to go through that, right? We have to realize that we're in flow. That we are all one. We're all successful in our own. We have our own journeys, right? And this shows this. So coming together in community, especially with sisterhood, that's going to be action. The action that we need to take. Okay, soul contracts. Again, talking about the Mercury Retrograde person who's going to come back into your life. It could even be just a message on Instagram, a DM, or it could be an email. And honestly, I feel like someone is going to show up. Someone's actually going to show up at your house. Okay, soul contract. But again, it doesn't mean you need to bring this person back into your life. That's really important information that's coming through from Spirit right now. And then I'm a big fan of David G. So owning your impact. So own your impact. Own your, use those support systems. That's the action we need to take. Use those, support each other. Support your fellow healers. Share. Like with the podcast today, Courtney and I were all over the story of sharing each other because, it's not beneficial to anyone if I only share my accomplishments. It's not beneficial to anyone if it's just I'm like talking about myself all day long, right? You got to share the message with everyone. Like, look at this person, look what this person's doing. Oh my God, this person has this. And be honestly, I talked about this yesterday. Be super happy and truly, authentically happy for the person, because that is the energy, is the action that we need to take right now in order to heal ourselves and heal the planet. So we're not just healing ourselves by doing these amazing things. We're actually healing the planet at the same time, which is humongous. It's such a big deal. Okay? So that is the very special, healing reading I want to do for Mercury retrograde and all these crazy things. And I hope you like it. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing and sharing. I have very cool things that are coming up. I have my very first spiritual retreat. I would love for you to come to that if you're in the area, Orangeville, Ontario. It's called Answer the Call. Like, answer the call, right? Answer the call. Sisterhood, togetherness, community. Meet other like-hearted and spiritual women who are practicing the same vibration and the same energy as you. Okay? So I will see you guys all later. Thank you so much for watching. I'm having a great time doing this, and I hope you guys are loving it too.